going on, guys? I'm gonna do a quick update, and that's about it. I don't care right now. Happy Lunar New Year! It's the 15-day celebration for Salalul and all that. I don't know. Last I checked, I still can't tag. I haven't even checked if I can tag Tiffany. To be quite honest, I don't fucking particularly care if I can tag Tiffany or not right now. Uh, I don't care right now. I just don't care. I just looked at I'm on her Instagram right now, and it's people tagging her and like Tiffany and other bitches pretending to like be Marilyn Monroe and shit. Like this is like any other time I'd be aroused. It's just right now I have a headache. Yeah, it would. No, thank God for Soo Young. She's just so pretty. Look at her right there. Wow, Soo Young. Tiffany's hot, way hot, and all that bullshit. But man, that bitch got me to unstake my theta. And I'm probably gonna sell the rest of my silver, even the designer silver that I said I was never gonna sell. To be quite honest, I'm having a hard time finding people to buy it. Believe it or not, even though all the fundamentals of silver are there, there's still, I mean, I don't want, I'm not getting into all that bullshit right now. Okay, so. I really like Tiffany. I wouldn't be doing this for anyone else. I swear to God. It's just one of two things. One, she's not going to stop. We are not stopping. She is not going to stop until I do it because Little Miss Fashion Miracle Investment, beautiful teacher, laid out exactly what her situation is, which means what my situation is. You see, it's kind of like in that one Star Trek Enterprise in like season 1 or season 2, and Archer is trying to like get a plasma coil or some bullshit like that for his warp drive. He needs a warp coil. He needs a warp coil, and the people he's like dealing with trying to get the warp coil, they're the only ones in the whole quadrant who can, that he's trying to explore, who can provide him with the warp coil. They've already done negotiations. They've already agreed on a price, but they're just not delivering on the warp coil because it is their custom that you have to do something extra and special and polite, or whatever the fuck, right? So it's just like that. It's like Tiffany's not telling me that I have to do this, or she's not gonna stop, pushing my buttons about it. But she's not gonna stop until she starts pushing my buttons about it. Like literally, like I thought I was gonna be like nice and like a little romantic-y and whatnot. So I sent her a poem this morning, and she got right down to business and was like assessing my inventory and whatnot, and like telling me I have to like get measurements and like get fancy clothes and all this bullshit. And I was like, I don't want fancy clothes. You're fancy clothes and all that bullshit. And she was like, look, I don't want to go to parties and then all that other bullshit, but I have to because sometimes you just have to. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense, but whatever you want me to do. I really like this girl. I wouldn't be doing any of this shit. I do all of this shit. I have all of these assets specifically so I don't have to do any of this shit. Every time someone's trying to be like, you've got to wear this fancy suit or you've got to go to this fancy place, I'm like, fuck you, I do. Go eat shit at your fancy place. Why don't you go eat snails and all that other bullshit? I'm gonna sit here and just do my own thing. Thank you very much. And every time someone tries to bribe me, like Tiffany bribes me, I'm like, nah, I don't need that shit. I got my own shit. God damn it. I just like Tiffany. And I'll use an analogy. Like, I did say just about 20 years ago, it's been more like 18 years. When Amanda died, I was like, it takes me 20 years to find another girl like her. Oh, wait, blah, 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 and all that bullshit, blah, 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 blah. And that's probably why I don't like rush into relationships. A lot of like girls I've dated like since then have been like ready to like rush into a relationship and shit like that. And I'm like, nah, we'll just get to know each other and see how that goes and all that bullshit. But anyways, I knew that Amanda liked me when she was I was basically new in Manassas, and she started showing me around Manassas. I was trying to tell her that I lived in Manassas. I just went to college and I came back. And she was like, well, you must have not seen it the right way. Let me show it to you the right way. And I was like, all right, that makes sense. So if Millionaire is a town, I basically have like the stamp or the buff that says Millionaire, but now I lost the money, but I still get to keep the buff. So Tiffany's showing me around Millionaire Town is what it comes down to. And she's showing me how to use my money to whatever the fuck in the down market and all that bullshit. And she guarantees me I'm going to get more theta and more T fuel and all this other bullshit. Is whatever. Whatever makes you happy. I'm only doing this because this is what the day Tiffany is like, I don't want to go to fancy parties and I don't want to go to fancy resorts and I don't want to do all this fancy shit. I just want to eat nachos and watch Netflix in a king size bed. Maybe queen size because king size is too big. I don't know. That's what we'll do, but she doesn't want to do that. She wants to do all that other shit. So that's what I have to do. I can say that before I even knew Tiffany was my biggest fan for 5 years. You could have told me all this shit when I did have the $1 million. That would have saved. It's okay. It's more fun this way. We gotta learn. We gotta learn together. This way I gotta learn. She gets to teach me this way. Thank you, Professor T. Such a beautiful teacher. Okay. So. In cicada, one of the things that you learn is that society has trained us to ignore the voice in our head. And right now, you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't have a voice in my head. This motherfucker is crazy. What you don't understand is the voice in your head that told you you don't have a voice in your head is what I'm referring to. That voice in your head has been tricked into believing it doesn't exist, and that is the manifestation of ego. Listen to the voice inside your head that tells you you have no voice inside your head. It wants to get out. When you start to understand that, what you realize is that we are programming our reality by programming our mind. I literally started doing cicada, and within 2 weeks I found out who the fuck Girls' Generation was and Tiffany Wang and all that bullshit. 12 years later, Tiffany Wang not only is a part of my life, she slid into my DMs and is miracle investing me back to being a millionaire because let me explain it to you this way, okay? I don't want to, I'm paraphrasing and there's no one else involved. It's just me and Tiffany. So I'm using on deck as like an analogy. She basically told me that it's really cute that I said I wanted to buy her a submarine yacht and that her ex-boyfriend had a submarine yacht, but that he cheated on her. Uh, then she told me that uh, 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 that I'm basically on deck. She is preparing to present me to a bunch of people, which is the start of the battle. And then if this is Castlevania, she is the prize after I beat Dracula. I came to the castle with my own whip. She's just scattered power-ups all along the route. That's the best analogy I can give you. So when she said I'm on deck, what she meant was, I hope you can survive. No one's survived yet. I have some great news for her. I've done this shit a bajillion times before. This is actually like a medium level castle. I just uh am only doing it because I like her. So we'll get this shit done. Don't worry about it. Look, I'll tell you the same thing I told Tiffany. I really like Tiffany. I might even like Tiffany too much. To be quite honest, I think Tiffany is the exactly type of girl I can see myself falling in love with. It's just that she has all these. It's always something else with Tiffany. It's like always something else. It's never what she says. It's always something else. Okay. So, anyway, the best way to free that voice inside your head that tells you you do not have a voice in your head. We're just going to call it the id, not the ID, the id from now on. The best way to free the id is to do 4 unreasonable things a day. 4 unreasonable things. Things that you would never do because your ego would never allow you to do them. Do them anyways. Free your id. Once you have freed your id, you will realize that the biggest lie in society, in our mind, in the world, is that we don't have enough. And that what we do have, we have by luck, or by providence or some divine intervention, and that if we, we can, that we better like hold on to it because we can never get it again. But this is a lie. This is a fallacy. That's a fallacious statement. You see, we actually are not defined by the objects that we own. We are defined by our experiences and our abilities. Well, no, by our abilities and our experiences. I think it matters to put abilities before experiences, because your abilities can define your experiences if you want to get into it. But it's neither here nor there. The best way you will learn that you are not your objects, but you are your abilities and your experiences is to give everything you have away and earn it again. And I was thinking to myself just before I met Tiffany, or whatever the fuck. It has been a while since I've cicated. So to be quite honest, the way I view it, all I have to do to get the girl of my dreams, the K-pop star, like she is the K-pop star. All I gotta do to do this shit is give up everything I own and earn it again. Done. You think that's hard? I can do this a bajillion times. So I went ahead and unstaked my theta. I took my latest T-drop payout. I swapped it all to T-fuel. I put that. I have 2,000 T-fuel on my wallet now. 5,000 T-drop staked. Like 1,200 or some bullshit like that. Theta on my. I got enough to stake a Guardian node again. I have 1,000 plus T-fuel on Theta on Binance and 10,000 plus T-fuel between Crypto.com and my Theta wallet. So I'm starting over from square one because it's time to cicada this motherfucker. Look, this has nothing to do with Tiffany. It really doesn't. For all I know, Tiffany could just be some fucking manifestation of my mind playing out to bring me on to something else. I don't know. What I do know is, right now, for some reason unbeknownst to me, Year of the Rabbit, Lunar New Year, Salalo, whatever you want to call it, right? All that shit. Salalo, the time for change has brought along cicada, and it's been about 12 years since my last cicada, which means, shit, it's a new lunar cycle, so it's time to cicada. So I don't think Tiffany understands what she's getting herself into, because she basically is just showing me how a new game works. I think the game is called Aristocrat or whatever the fuck she is. And I just happen to break systems and break games without even trying to. So if she wants me to play Aristocrat, I'll play Aristocrat for Tiffany. I really like Tiffany, Stephanie, Mi Young, Wang, Regular Young. I do. I like her a whole bunch. I don't want the moon to cry anymore, so I'm doing all this. Anyways, I hope I didn't say too much. But all that bullshit I said, let's do this. Fighting